Hi, everybody. My name is Pam O'Donnell, and I am from Bayonne, New Jersey. And I want to talk to you about a very serious subject matter that is affecting the entire country as well as the world. Distracted and impaired driving, and how it has affected my family. On Monday morning, February 22nd of 2016, at 7:45 a.m., it was an absolutely beautiful day. The sun was shining. It wasn't too cold. But at 7:45 a.m. was the last time that I saw my husband, Tim, who is a beloved high school teacher as well as softball coach at County Prep High School in Jersey City. And it was the last time that I saw my 5-year-old daughter, Bridget. At around 12 o'clock later on that afternoon, I received a phone call from my daughter, who was on her 99th day of pre-K. And she called me and she was so excited because she had just learned the letter P. And P is for Pam, her mom. And she asked me if I could print out a picture of myself so that when she goes into school on Tuesday morning, she can explain the letter P represents Pam, her mom. That was unfortunately the last time I ever heard her voice. At approximately 3:19 p.m. that afternoon, my husband and my 5-year-old daughter were killed on the New Jersey Turnpike. They were stopped at a toll plaza. They were both seatbelted. My daughter was in her car seat, as she should be. And an impaired driver sped up behind them, going 55 miles per hour in a 5-mile-per-hour zone, and propelled them into oncoming traffic. They were both killed. My daughter was crushed. She was, in fact, cut in half. This all could have been prevented, all of it. One of the saddest parts of the story is it was my husband's students who had graduated already from county prep that were the firemen and the first responders to arrive at the scene. Now just imagine one of your teachers or anybody that you know arriving to a scene and seeing somebody that you know, somebody that you worked with, somebody that you loved, slumped over in a car, and they're dead. They didn't even know that there was a baby in the back seat for almost 40 minutes because the car was so crumpled. I am asking and begging for all of you kids out there to really think about what you're doing behind a weapon of mass destruction. This hit my family really hard. Not only did we lose one, we lost two. 2 months after the crash, my daughter would have graduated pre-K. And, they do these little ceremonies almost as if you graduate from high school. I was invited to go to that ceremony. It was my choice. But all I did was receive a posthumous diploma. And I received a plastic bag with her items in it that were in her little cubby hole. There were no flowers. There were no pictures. There was none of that. They did do a photo montage of her and her classmates that, if you watch the video, you can hear me crying. It wasn't a happy day. This is 4 years later and still affects us. It will never go away. We can never move on. The person that propelled them into oncoming traffic was finally convicted. He received 37 years in prison. However, he is appealing the conviction and the sentencing, so we're being held hostage by somebody that chose to do drugs and drive. It was a choice. It was not an accident. And we don't refer to anything like that as accident. They're not accidents, they are car crashes, they are collisions. One of the issues that I found out was he had driven miles and miles from New York City up the ramp to the New Jersey Turnpike. And there were so many people that saw him driving impaired. And I know everybody has technology, and all of you kids are addicted to TikTok and your videos and your iPads and all of that stuff. What happened, or rather what did not happen, is the fact that people saw this man driving for miles and not one person thought to call 911. Had one call come through, there's a great possibility that I may not even have to be making this videotape. You may not have to be listening to my story. So I am asking that when you do see something going on, by all means tape it, but before you even start that tape, because that tape can be used for evidence, call 911. People had absolutely no problem whipping out their phones and riding past the crash to take videotapes of my husband dead in a car, to take videotape of when they finally did get my daughter out of the car and her still strapped in it. In fact, she was cut in half by her seatbelt. You kids are our future. It is extremely hard to get through this. This is not a Law and Order episode. This is not a 1 hour true crime TV show that everybody's addicted to. This is real life. You have to make good decisions, because somebody once told me, everything affects everybody, whether you know it or not. So if you're going to stand by and watch something go on and not say anything, you are part of the problem. If you are going to drink and drive, you are the problem. If you are going to use your phone while driving, you are the problem. Summertime is the 100 deadliest days for teens. And not whether you know it or not, the number one killer of teens is car crashes. So if you don't think you're ready to get behind that wheel of a car and drive yourself, don't do it. Wait until you're ready. It is a massive undertaking. And your choices of what you do behind the wheel will affect you. It will affect your family. It will affect strangers. The last thing that I want is for your mama and dad is to get that phone call that you were in a car crash. And either you're the one that caused it or you're the one that's no longer here. This is real life. I live with this every day. There's not a day that goes by that I don't cry. There's not a day that goes by that my now only daughter cries herself to sleep and wants to know why this happened. The only thing that I can tell her is that somebody made a bad choice. Approximately 40,000 people die every year in the United States because of 100% preventable car crashes. I am pleading with you to take this serious. This is not a joke. You don't have to get in that car if somebody you know is drinking. In fact, don't. If you are the passenger and the driver is your friend, you make sure you hold that phone, because there is no way that that driver should be using a phone. My daughter, who is now 11, has a lifetime of therapy. She is 5 times more likely to commit suicide. She's 9 times more likely to become a high school dropout. She's 10 times more likely to start using drugs, which is exactly what killed her dad and sister. She's 20 times more likely to have behavioral issues, which we've already experienced. She will be in counseling for the rest of her life. The other aspect to our story is I'm a cancer survivor. In 2014, I spent an entire year in the hospital fighting for my family. I was given my last rites 4 times. They were thinking I was going to die. I shouldn't be here. If my cancer comes back, my now 11-year-old daughter will be parentless. And that is because somebody chose to take drugs and drink and chose to drive behind the wheel of a weapon of mass destruction. I'm only telling you this story because I don't want to see any one of you on the front page of the newspaper. I don't want to see any more headlines in the news of Manchester high school student dead in a 100% preventable car crash. I'm asking you, please, be the change that we all wish to see. This world is crazy enough with all that's going on, the virus, the brutality, the racism, all the crazy stuff. There's one thing that you can do, though. You can make a better choice. You can make a conscious decision to be a better driver. Be an example for your peers. Spread the word, spread awareness. Do what you can. You're my future, all of you. You're my daughter's future. You're the football stars. You're the cheerleaders she's going to emulate. She's going to, watch you as you guys grow up to be doctors and possibly one of her teachers or anything like that. I have to depend on all of you. Right here, I'm holding my daughter's teddy bear that was in the car crash with her. And I sleep with it every night. I'm begging you, please don't be a statistic. You have all so much potential. It shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. Please be the change you wish to see in the world. Please, don't let this happen to any other family. I want to see you strive. I want to be proud of Manchester high school students. I want to see your name in the headlines for doing something great. My daughter wanted to be a cancer-curing singing doctor, and now she's not here to do that. And I don't want any one of you to ever experience this. I don't want your families to ever experience this. So I want to just say thank you for listening to my story. Your teacher has all of my contact info, so you are more than welcome to contact me and we can talk. But please go forth, do well, make good choices. Because you can't do anything if you're dead or if you're in jail. Please don't let it happen to you.